my name's Grandad.
Right, so we've started to think about the kitchen now, so we're getting all the wiring done. So all the boards that went up temporary have come down again, all to start being treated and painted on the backs. And Ady's back sticking wires up.
Somewhere.
So now we've placed all the wires, we've got the wall up, and we've put all the 12 volt behind in conduit. Tried to make it so it's out the way of the 240. Right, do you want to lift it and I'll put the old right through? There's a little gap here, but not so much a gap there. We need to have a little gap. Oh yeah, just gone in. Got a bit of a gap at the top and not much at none at the bottom. But that might just be this one. Yeah, that's a bit lower. Well, that's them boards up and they don't have to come down again now. So we can get on with the electrics in the kitchen. Our oven that we've chose is an LPG 12 volt oven with the 12 volt ignition, and same with the hob, it's got a 12 volt ignition. Now some people like them, some people don't like them. We've been happy with ours in our motorhome, and a friend of ours has got the same one we've brought for the boat and they're happy with theirs. But we also hear a lot of things where a lot of people aren't happy. So to be on the safe side, we've also put a 240 volt under the gunnel. So if we ever did want to have a household oven, we've got the power under there. We're also going to make the units bigger, so we wouldn't have to change too much if we did want to have a bigger oven under there. And we're doing the same with the fridge. The fridge is a 12 volt fridge, and we think we'll be quite happy with that, but some people say they prefer to have a 240 fridge. So again, we've allowed a 240 socket under there and room in the cupboards to do that if we wanted to.
Basically, we've got the supply coming from this socket into this socket. So one of these two brown wires, one of these sets of 3 cables is a supply which goes on the radial, which is on the circuit, which goes like to each socket, if you like, feeding the power to each socket. Okay. Because we've got like a few spurs that are going on here now that are going to go down for this is going to feed down to here for the 240 fridge, which we're not having, as we said before, but in case in future we decide, or anybody else decides, to have a mains powered fridge, there's a supply there for it. Yeah. So you basically have got this switch connected to this switch comes out and goes to this switch, then this switch carries on down the boat.
Yeah.
But also from this, when you switch that on, it puts power down below the gunnel to these two switches here. These two will switch down to there, so that will be for a 240 oven and hot plate if we ever decide, hob, if ever we decide to have one.
Yeah.
Same again for there, that's going to be for 240 for the fridge. We've got 12 volt ignition for the oven.
So we're just putting 240 underneath just in case in the future.
In future, yeah.
It's all done.
Yeah. That's it. That's the words I was looking for.
That's the summing up.
Yeah. These switches have got like obviously L on them, but they've also got like the hot wire, hot connection there, and the blue for the neutrals. So if you're illiterate, you can still see which ones go where.
Do we need any electric for the water filter?
No, it's just a cartridge. We're not having any osmosis-y type thing or anything, are we? You know what I mean, or reverse osmosis, all them things, about £300. We'd rather just drink pond water.
We've never had a filter
ever,
and we've been fine.
We've
drunk water.
We had a filter on
the
the
world.
hose pipe in Australia, but that was because it was bore water, wasn't it? It was putting through. But yeah, other than that,
We've got stomachs of iron.
we're immune, I think. And that just obviously just goes onto there. Just going to get my screws now.
That's a lot of wire. And these have got to come off because this will be tiled. Well, we've got the tile backer board and the tiles to go on.
Trying to keep my hands steady this morning. Just try not to slip with your screwdriver and put a big gash up there where you scratch the front of it.
Don't speak too
I
soon.
know. All that will happen now is we'll put we'll cut this off to length, put that back box into there, and then they're not seen underneath the cupboard, so we're not going for anything fancy like brushed chrome or whatever. We're just going to go for normal white boxes on the front, same as there. That'll be repeated on the other side of the boat for the washing machine, and we're going to put point in for tumble dryer, which we aren't having, but we'll put a point in for that anyway.
Yeah.
So same thing just on the other side.
Yeah. All the cupboards will be built as well to if we do adapt it in the future. If I do feel like I need a tumble dryer, because that was in the original plan. It's just that we've realised we don't really need it.
Yeah. So that's going to go in there now. Cut this off.
And then these ones are for the 12 volt. We've got a different conduit carrying different pipes, trying to keep it away from 240. Right, I'm going to get another layer of paint on this.
A bit of preparation now because tomorrow my old school friend Kev's turning up to give us a hand with the electric.
Do you mind being filmed?
No, I don't mind being filmed. Hello, you two.
Yeah. That's great, that is. Yeah, you're going to get yourself some of these. Called sharp drill bits. Especially when you're on a metal boat. They're dead good with metal.
Can't you recreate it for
I'll edit that bit.
There you
Oh,
go.
another window.
Another window.
You're not screwing it on, are you yet, mate?
No, mate, I'm just seeing if these line up.
Good, because I've got to put some wires in it, yeah? And I want to know the wire. So we'll put wires in it first, don't we? We'll use a bit of this. So, down for 2.5. Got plenty of this. Absolutely tough. Into the corner.
No, we've drilled them in the right place.
You haven't?
Yeah.
How can you not? How can you not? Are you joking, aren't you?
No, they're in the right place.
Okay.
They're in the right place.
There we go. £60 amp. Shore power. Well, that looks a peach.
Does it?
Does it stick out at all? No, that's
No.
good. Oh, you've got plenty of room. Oh, good as gold.
Hey.
Except it's covered in metal filings now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm going to have to sweep them up and all.
Shall we put some what's-its on these? Ferrules.
Yeah.
Ferrules, mate. I can't keep hold of anything here.
And
I want some big ones for that. What's the biggest one you got? For that?
yeah, I think 10 mil.
Oh, well, do.
Yeah.
10 mil, and then some for this 1.5. One for the 1.5.
They want, oh, that one's a
Oh, do they?
1.5.
Are they?
Mm.
Really? Maybe I've got 2.5 with them. Blue one. Yeah, that's better.
Put that up there, it's on the way.
Got it. Fancy things these are, aren't they?
Oh, eBay.
They're a
eBay.
job in town.
China.
They're a job in town.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Just a jobby. Bit neater than all those little wires sticking out.
Yeah, I know.
Come on. Yeah.
Oh.
There we go. So where's the thing? I hope these will go in.
I know, I was just thinking that, yeah.
I'm sure. Low one. No. Trim off those fluffy bits at the end.
See? You do that, you see.
What? Trim off the fluffy bits at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do them. Let's see. Was that a discussion, was it, once? There's a little black thing here. It goes on, stops it falling out.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, where's it screwing? Screws in there. There we go. That's better. Through there. Blue one through there. Red one through there. Come on. Ferrules are holding it off a bit. Yeah, they won't come out now. And that goes on the back. There we go. Anyway, and that's it. So, okay, through. Sun's out.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
Ordered it special.
Sun's out. Sun's out, but it's a chilly wind. Guess got to stop the screws falling out. Oh, the little Allen keys, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all going to come off again when you paint it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hang on. What's there? We'll not put the hole all the way through. I guess. So.
Wicked.
I might leave that off for now because it might be easy to get those nuts on, and I'll push that on from the other side.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there's the fiddly bit, getting those little nuts on.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh, right. You got them?
Yeah, you got them. Hey.
Wow. Magic. That one's a bit out, mate. Pointing down a bit. Right, let's go on the fiddle on the other side. If you want to, actually, you know, if you put close it. Oh, I thought it might hold them in. What do you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
No, it needs to be off. Do it like that. Right, let's go and have a fiddle. For the purposes of YouTube, should I be calling you Grandad?
Yeah.
Hi, Grandad. Well, who'd have thought I've got sun in my eyes?
I know, isn't it? Yeah.
This morning.
Grandad don't know what to do with himself. He's pacing up and down like he's outside a maternity ward today.
Some cables in now, eh? Now we've got that up and out of the way.
Yeah. I don't find it easy giving up the reins for the day.
I know, now you know how I feel. But good to have his help.
Super. Super. So, now we know where we're going, I know where to put the wires. I wanted to find the route first before I clipped all the wires and found I'd come up here.
Expensive cable that is, isn't it? That blue stuff.
This?
Ridiculous.
It's not very
It's no
bendy.
No bending it at all. Everybody moans about that.
I got some from somewhere once, just for something normal. Oh, I made an extension lead of it. It's awful stuff, you can't roll it up.
No, no.
So that's in. And I want in. And it just wants to curl up.
Yeah, yeah, it's horrible stuff to work with.
You want to give it a tug, Ady, while I feed it up?
Yes, mate.
Let's move about this one. It's not very long, is it?
Ready?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's strip them and then pull a bit extra on that.
Oh, you're nice to it. Don't you nice?
Yeah. That next to the doorknob. Spot on, thank you.
Oh, look, swish that thing, does it?
Swish?
Swish that.
Oh, swish!
That connector, I like that.
Looks pro. Looks
Yeah.
like it's off a posh. There, we've got plenty there, haven't
Yeah, I like it.
we? That's the version. I presume this is just the sockets down this side, is it?
Yeah, that's that side, obviously. Two sides now, just radial them, as they
Yeah.
say in the trade.
Yeah. Ready to hold. Don't want none of them ring circuits, do we? There's a socket. One with a green ring on it. There's that side. And that one's new. And that's Mercian. We'll clip that and then we'll have some slack. You might have a bit spare for do something with. Not much, but.
Yeah.
What a quality educational institution that was. I came out with one grade B CSE art. That was it. Nothing else. Not one O level or other CSE.
No?
And I got a job as an apprentice by lying.
Yeah.
I just lied to them and said, oh, I've got A-level physics, O-level physics, O-level
Never wanted
maths.
to see them though then, did they?
They said, oh, have you got your certificates? I said, no, not
yet.
gone yet.
That's what I did.
Not got them yet.
Yeah.
And then about 6 months in, he says, "Never got those certificates." I says, "Ah, no, I'll bring them in." He goes, "Don't bother." You know, but I'd been to college and proved I could do what I needed to do. But no, I got O level 8 CSC grade B art. That's the total sum. I ended up
bad for com,
as a senior electrical engineer working for ESSO on multi-million-pound projects. How's that work out? Yeah. Someone's daft, and I don't know if it's me or not. Yeah, an awful lot of drills, Ady. Not enough drills. Not enough drills.
He loves a drill.
Oh, yeah. Put that there and make sure I take it, because Ady's got his eyes on that.
Yeah, so have I.
Alright, nailing then. How have you nailed these up here? Did you nail this up here before you put your wood on?
Yeah.
Good on you.
It's going to be hard to do it now on this bit,
is.
isn't it?
It is.
There was some on that pulled off as we...
I'll clip it from under there at some point. Yeah.
And this is all being covered in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't see any of that.
No.
That light box, that switch will be in there as well.
Do you want me a better hammer?
Have you got a better one?
Yeah, I've got
I was told this was the only one you
I've got
had.
an S-swing in the garage.
Go on, I'll get me a better one. I'll struggle on for a bit. Mine in Romania is 24 volt. Like my inverters. The batteries are wired for 24 and the inverter's 24. I'm in solar. Oh, that's better. Something steady miles behind there.
How much solar have you got over in Romania there?
I've got 6 panels and they're 140 watt each.
Right. So
But they're wired. They're wired in 2 banks. No, they're wired in 3 banks of 2.
Right.
So they give out like 40 volts each bank,
Right.
rather than just 20 volts.
Yeah.
Um,
We've got some that out for ours, haven't we?
Yeah.
well, that's it's saving old clips. Tight bugger. Fucking hell.
That might be me.
I guarantee I pull that out every time when I go for a new clip. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got.
Yeah, the solars work really well, but I bought batteries, and my batteries, I've got 2 12 volt batteries,
Yeah.
but they're huge. They're like this, with this, 2 of them, and I wired them together to make 24. They cost €600 for the pair, and the first pair lasted me 3 years, and I made a mistake. I left the solar connected in the winter, thinking, oh, it'll keep them charged when I'm not there.
Yeah, yeah.
And what it does, when the snow covers it, the solar panels, the panels in the inverter actually take electricity.
Right.
They'll pull electricity out of the batteries as opposed to giving it to them, and it completely flattened them. And I went for 1 year struggling with them. They would just flatten it every night. They would go flat, even though I'd charged them fully during the day on a hot sunny day.
Yeah.
Just couldn't work with it. So last year, bit the bullet, bought 2 new batteries.
Yeah,
And I made sure I disconnected them when I left.
yeah.
They were fully charged when I left.
What size batteries are they then?
They're 240 amp hour each. They're huge.
Yeah.
They're made for solar systems.
Right.
They're not special lithium ones or anything like that. They're AGAs. They're sealed. Yeah, and they're good batteries. They're like they're the standard to be used for solar. And obviously I bought them in Romania, so I got them cheaper than you would anywhere else.
Yeah.
So everything's cheap out there.
Yeah. It's a great place that is when you got that cabin.
I was shocked. I'd had it for 13 years and never been there.
We went there before.
You went there before me?
Yeah.
And I was shocked at what was there. That's going to me.
We love Romania, didn't we?
Oh,
It's the people that's done me.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the place is beautiful. The weather is incredible in the summer. I mean, you get 30-degree days and sun.
Yeah.
And you're free. If you do, I mean, I can set fires, they do what I want, have a party. There's nobody to bother.
Yeah.
But the people are just ace. They're just just want to help you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had
That's
them
right.
like take me to dentists,
Yeah.
sort out batteries and solar, order them on their own credit cards, and then I've paid them. And they hardly know me.
Yeah.
They're just generous people. They're really good. want to talk to you. They want to know why you're there. You know, how come you're here, and what are you going to do? And
them gypsies that we went and seen in Romania, they're bloody great.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. Same thing.
yeah,
Taking you in the houses and
yeah.
feeding you, and nothing's too much trouble. So generous. Yeah.
Well, my English friend there, a guy called Greg, he went out in 1989 as Ceausescu was deposed, the dictator, the communist dictator. He was taken in the street and shot. And he went out, you know, when there's all the thing with the orphanages, and there's like the Romanian orphanages, and they're in a right state. He just left the kids lying in the mess and everything.
Yeah.
Well, he went out, he'd been travelling and went to Romania to kind of help.
Yeah.
And he used to go and feed, there was like homeless gypsy kids.
Yeah.
The homeless gypsy kids were at the railway stations, living under the tracks and things, and begging.
Yeah.
And he'd go down and take them food. And there was a nurse from Brasov, a Romanian woman, doing the same thing. But her food wasn't as good as his because he got more money than her.
Yeah.
And she came to me and says, "This is stupid." She says, "I'm bringing food every day, but the children are coming to you. We need to join together and do it together." And then he ended up marrying her. Never came home to England, and bought a huge house just outside Brasov.
Yeah.
And great. And he says, "I want to make an orphanage." He went to the authorities. "I want an orphanage. I can have. There's going to be 10 bedrooms. I'm going to have 10 children." And they went, "No, you can't have an orphanage." Even though it wasn't Ceausescu anymore, it says, "It can only be state orphanages, no private orphanages." He said, "Well, how can I do it?" He said, "Well, if you want to have children in your house, you've got to adopt them." So he'd adopted 9. He adopted 9 Romanian homeless gypsy children.
Wow.
He keeps in touch with all of them apart from 2, I think. He's got his own kids as well. Got a son and a daughter. But yeah, he adopted 9. It's mad. He's a good guy. Oh, Greg.
Oh, brilliant.
But he's a guide now. He's got people fly in, and he takes them around Romania like one-on-one. One family. He doesn't do groups, and he'll just takes them like to gypsy villages, and he takes them to the castles and whatever. But he's had princesses and all sorts from all over the world, like Saudi and things, coming. So he does all right. But obviously COVID's fucked him up the last 2 years. I don't know how he's going on. That's our Greg.
Went to Ceausescu, didn't we, when we was
Oh, in Bucharest.
Yeah.
That is it. Biggest single building in
The heaviest
Is it the world or Europe?
No, Pentagon is heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the marble and stuff
It's
in there.
incredible, yeah. And he wouldn't have anything from anywhere in the world other than Romania. Everything had to be Romanian in
Was it?
Yeah, Romanian marble, Romanian
Was it?
stone, yeah. Refused to have anything other than that.
Wow.
Quite remote.
Yeah.
But when you talk to the Romanians who are a little bit older and remember Ceausescu's time, getting up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning to go and queue for a loaf of bread with the grandmas and the parents, right? And says, no, that would just take it for normal. You'd stand in a queue for an hour and a half just to get 1 loaf of bread for that day. And he says there was nothing. The TV was 1 TV station, and he says it had like 1 cartoon on, and it was like 1 Russian cartoon for children a day. And then the rest of it was like political, like Ceausescu saying, "I've done this."
Yeah,
He made out his wife was a nuclear scientist, and there's a picture there with white jackets on and things, going and then like looking around nuclear things and labs and things. And she was a country girl, uneducated, from somewhere down south in Romania. She got absolutely no intelligence at all. But he made out and every night they go, "Your glorious leader's wife is controlling the nuclear." It's like, no, she's doing nothing.
mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, mental. That's one person.
It was just, that's the thing, it wasn't him on his own. He was a proper dictator. My other friend who's moved down south, Gabby, you met Gabby.
Yeah.
They used to have these things on the TV in a football stadium. All the children would go and they do marching things in time and like make patterns with flags in the whole of the stadium. And he got picked to go and do this, and he had to, from where he lived in the south, he had to go to Bucharest for 2 weeks to train. And he says they hardly fed us, we kept us locked up. We came out every day, and he says it was the summer, and it was like red hot, absolutely red hot. He says it was, it was just hideous thing, it was torture. But they did this all the while.
Just so look good.
Yeah, just so we go, look at what my people have done for me.
Wow. Shot him though, don't you? Shot him.
Took him out of the street and shot him.
Yeah, I remember seeing him on telly.
Yeah, took him out in the street and shot him. His own police force shot him. Not the people, his own police force. Immersion.
Yeah,
We have a shower tonight.
yeah, that's it. Your travel pack will be on as well.
Are you not eating your water from a Webasto, a diesel heater out like that?
Yeah,
Ah, you've got that option as well then?
yeah.
Ah, well.
There's 3 options.
On the end.
Yeah, straight into that.
Right, another one of those ferrules. You see these, the bed are going in the bottom.
Yeah.
But they put a lip here,
Yeah.
so you can't get on the bottom. So you're right stuffed up against this silly breaker that won't stay in either.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's just, well, it's just been thrown in. No one's thought about anything.
Yeah, that's so awkward, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the sake of doing
For the sake of it, yeah. For the sake of just spinning that round
Yeah.
and having the bit.
Yeah.
But it's also, why is that? Why could they have it at the side?
Yeah.
Put it at the side here, away from everything, instead of right underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got plenty of these, haven't you?
Yeah.
1,000 in there, is there, to it?
Yeah. Amazon.
Yeah. Amazon.
Fatal, isn't it?
Much as I hate it,
I know.
yeah,
too easy.
I'd rather give it to small companies, but
Yeah.
it's just so easy, like you say.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just so easy. There's screws missing in these as well. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just to make life interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they're not fell out while I've been working. I'll have a look. But he says as he sees one on the floor. There's one. Oh, let's have a look down here. Oh, there's another one.
There you
Look.
go then.
Oh,
I can see one from here. No, look there.
Where?
Just there. Look, just moved it right in the middle of them cables.
Oh yeah, and another one.
There's another one. Look. That's where they all are. Look.
That's where they are.
It's a safe place. There you go. Take it all back.
Yeah. It's all my fault. This boat's vibrating and shaking him out.
Yeah.
You can see why this board was, what was it, 40 quid,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a proper mate was 100 quid.
Yeah.
A nice MK or a,
Yeah.
yeah,
More than a
square D.
More than a jiu-jitsu, whatever it's called. Right, this is the box all fitted now, and Kev's gone. So thank you, Kev, for that. I appreciate all your help, and yeah, a bit fiddly for him, but anyway, he got there in the end. And just going to run through the box now just to explain what's gone off. Obviously Kev's put the cables in from the shoreline, which comes, we'll show that in a minute, from outside, and that feeds this RCD just here, which is a residual current device. So that will trip out if this switch will trip out if there's any earth leakage on the boat. So that will just drop down and it just monitors. It's got like a test point on there that you're supposed to test every month. And then all your other cables that come from your boat into this unit will wire into all these little mini circuit breakers, which they will trip out if there's like an overcurrent on the supplies. So we've got some people will just have 3 or whatever, but we've had 6, so we're only using 3, but they're all rated. So we've got a 6 amp one for the immersion heater, and then we've got 2, we're using the 2 16 amp ones which go to each side of the boat. So these will be labelled up port and starboard, so they'll feed all the sockets going down the left and the right hand side of the boat. Same principle again. If there's any problem with that, they will just trip out and go off, and then you just reset them by lifting the switches up and down. So yeah, it was a bit of a faff for Kev, but I say, good job he did it, because I'd have been swearing too much. But yeah, I appreciate all his help with that. And basically that's it. All your lives will go into your switches there, and then you've got like an earth bar and a negative bar just here, where all your negative wires go into, and all your lives will go into these switches here. We were going to fit like a buzz bar in here, but it was a bit tight. So what Kev's done is sort of daisy chained all the lives in the top of there, which was a bit difficult to see on the vlog, but that's what he's done anyway. And then once they're all in place, there's 4 screws, and this case goes on the front. It's got like a rubber seal going around it, and then your door just closes up in there, and that's it.
And then this is earthed to the metal on the boat.
Yeah, so there'll be an earth supply going from here to the hull of the boat. So
yeah, well that's in.
Yeah, it's in, ready to go in now. Yeah, down there. But yeah, and that's it, finished really. So now we've got all the sockets working on the boat, which is a plus, a real plus. So this is the shoreline, and I'll just unplug that now and just show you what's going on. This is from Victron, a bit more expensive, but I think it looks a bit nicer than the plastic ones. And that's just a lock-on cover, so that when we're not connected up to shoreline, it's gonna be sealed on there. And then all you do is unlift that, get your plug it in, drop it down, and there's all sort of O-rings and seals around there, so water can't get into there. And that's it.